Hello! Today we're going to go over armor. Since a couple weeks ago I did a damage resistance video, Epic has since changed damage resistance. We previously learned that you could get to a 95% damage resistance cap, but technically you could get to 124%, but it capped at 95. So now they've put in what's called armor and removed damage resistance. You still have damage resistance, but your armor depicts how much resistance you're going to get, similar to how crit rating depicts how much crit chance you're going to get. For those of you that aren't even familiar with that, crit rating is a perk on your weapons, and some of the heroes have them as well. But let's say if you have 60 crit rating, that doesn't mean you have 60 crit chance. There's a curve. So if you have very little crit rate, you get more crit chance. If you have lots of crit rate, it has a diminishing return. So there's like it's like a bell curve, where if you don't have a lot of crit chance, you're actually crit rate, you actually have more crit chance than your crit rating. But once you get to like a certain point, it starts to drop off the amount of crit chance you get from crit rating. So stacking a bunch of crit rating is bad because you're giving up on potential damage. And I think armor is going to be the same thing, where the lower value of armor grants you more damage resistance, and the more armor you stack, the less damage resistance you're gaining. So spending a bunch of perks and stacking armor is probably less beneficial. But we're going to go figure it out to see if where we used to be got nerfed or not, and then we're going to see what the values are when you stack all the armor. So same thing like the other video, we're going to be looking at Rescue Trooper, which used to have a, I'll show you. All right, Rescue Trooper would come down here to the level 25 perk. Heavily armored, increases armor by 45. This used to be a 24? Yeah, a 24% damage reduction. So we're going to be looking at this to see what the percent of damage reduction we get. We're also going to be using some weapons that have the old damage resistance perks on them that have now been converted to armor. And we're going to be looking at the Husk Cleaver that has one armor, or one armor perk. So it's been changed from 23% damage resistance to 40 armor. And then we'll be using the Shovel that I originally had the 2 damage resistance perks, which was double 23. So what was that? That was 46%, and now it's going to have 80 armor. And so we'll be looking at all 3 options, and then we'll even combine and stack it all with Rescue Trooper to get the most amount of armor, and we'll see what kind of damage resistance we're getting at that point to see if there is any kind of diminishing return on your damage resistance. Sound like a plan? Sound like a plan. Let's go. Alright, so we're going to put Shock Trooper in. We're not going to have any squad bonuses, just to eliminate anything. And just so you guys can see, Shock Trooper is debilitating shots. It's got the increased health. There's no damage resistance by default. Shockwave, debilitating, bullet, impact, shockwave, kneecap, or waste ammo. So nothing on this hero gives damage resistance. And we can go back over here, although I think this is bugged right now. Last I checked, it wasn't, the damage resistance numbers weren't working regardless of your armor. So we have 0 armor, and we have 0 damage resistance. We'll double check this also when we slot Rescue Trooper, because I'm pretty sure the damage resistance stays at 0, even though your armor goes up. Again, in-game menus, right? Alright, let's go. We're going to go into a 76. For those of you that missed the first video, just as a disclaimer really quick, we tested a 5-star 50 hero and a 4-star 50 hero, and they take the same amount of damage from the husks. So we're just going to queue up a level 76. Alright, so here we are, back at 76 this time. Let's see what he hits me for. 10, 109. Okay, there's some bleed through reduction. Alright, he's going to hit me for 10, 109. 10, 109. 10, 109. Got it. Alright. Alright, so just one more thing. I just want to verify that the elementals hit for the same thing. Even though there's no armor, it should still be 10, 109. 10, 109. There's the bleed through reduction. 10, 109. Alright, so here we are loading back in as Rescue Trooper. For those of you that are like, what is that guy? A long time ago, there was a Twitch Prime reward package, and this was one of the Twitch hero skin variants, whatever you want to call it. But it's Rescue Trooper. I could be using Crackshot, but I don't have them leveled up yet. Heavily armored. Increases armor by 45. Again, As a reminder, this used to be 24% damage reduction. Alright, so we've got an elemental fatty and we've got a regular fatty. We're going to play... If the elemental does the same damage, we won't mess with elementals for the rest. If it changes... I'm curious if the armor is going to have a different effect on elementals. I don't think it will, but if it does, we'll continue to do both. If it doesn't and it's the same damage reduction on both, we'll just annihilate elementals in general and continue to focus on regulars. Okay, we'll start off with the regular husk. 6978, is that what that was? 6975. 6975, 6975. Okay, so there's no difference. 6975. Okay, now we're going to apply, whoops, the sword. If you guys remember, my sword has, where is it? 1 armor, so 40 armor, so we're sitting at, we should be sitting at 85 armor. Let's see if that's correct. Defense. 45. 85 armor, and again, see 0 damage resistance. He's hitting me for... Okay, there's the bleed through. Let's hit it again. 5469? 5469. Switch over to this shovel. Hold on, let's get back over here again. My shovel puts us at 125 armor. 4488. 4488. Alright, so one last test. Since the last damage resistance video, we capped out at 95%, but we actually had 124% damage resistance, but I capped at 95. We're going to do the same build. So with the shovel, with the double armor, and then the armor from Rescue Trooper, that put us at 125 armor, right? We're going to add another 25, bringing us to 150, and then after Shockwave, 190 armor for 6 seconds. We're going to be at a total of 340 armor for those 6 seconds. We'll see what kind of diminishing returns we get. It'll be interesting to see. All right, so here we are with the hammer. The hammer. I keep calling it the hammer. The hammer. The shovel, because it's a hammer. Let's go ahead and get up here where he can't hurt me. And I will show you. We should be at 125. 150, my bad. 150 armor. He can touch me? What the? Parkour fat man. 150 armor. What does this hit for? 40, 43. 40, 43. Now, we are going to ground pound. Go up to 340 armor. Let's make sure that the menu is still there. It's not. Okay. Whoa, whoops. That does reach us to 340. I didn't see it. Shoot, we lost it. We lost it! We'll do it again. Wait 15 seconds. My bad. So it does reach us to 340 armor. Remember, 150 armor was 4,043 damage. We're going to double that, more than double that, and we'll see how much more we go from 4,043. 2,300. Okay. Okay. So for those of you that remember the end of the damage resistance video, when we were at 124% damage resistance, but actually capped at 95% damage resistance, they were hitting at, like, for 500 something. Now they hit for 2,300 if you try to do the exact same build. Boom! 2,300. 2,300. Rawr! 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 Okay. We'll put up a spreadsheet, and we can look at the difference between where we were at and where we are now when it comes to damage reduction and the damage we're actually taking with the same build. All right, here we are at the fun part. Just really quick, we got there's a lot of stuff on screen, but there's 2 main charts side by side. The new chart, which is armor, and then the old chart is all the corresponding percentages from damage resistance before armor was a thing. So we've got three columns in the new one. Armor, which is going to be all the increased added up armor by stacking either the hero perks, weapon perks, support bonuses, and tactical bonuses. The damage is the second column that the husks are doing to you, and then it shows the reduced damage with the corresponding armor. And then I've gone ahead and done the percent reduction so you can compare it to what it used to be. Over in the old chart, straight across the lines, where if you look at the hero perk right now, you got plus 45 armor for the hero perk and rescue trooper. If you go over to the old chart, that was a 24% damage reduction, I always say reduction, resistance. And then when you add one weapon perk going down into the rows, it's plus 40 armor. That was a plus 23%. Support bonus is now 25 armor. It used to be 14%. Tactical is now 190 armor, and it used to be just 40%. But then, if you want to look at the resistance percentages from the new and the old columns, you can see that right around 80 to 85 armor is where the change occurs. Okay, with 45 armor, you actually get more damage resistance than you used to, which is what they promised. They said for lower amounts of damage resistance or armor, it's actually going to be a buff. And then if you stack a lot of armor, it's going to be a diminished return. And you can see that at around the 80%, 80 and 85 armor level. At 85 armor, we're at 46% damage resistance. With those same perks previously, we used to be at 87% damage resistance. So at that point, that's kind of the breaking point. Back then, you could stack another 23% damage resistance and skyrocket from 47 to 70%. And now, the equivalent, double stack the perks, you'd go from 46 to 56. 56 instead of 70, that's kind of dramatic. And then if you stack another 25 armor, we're at 150 armor, but 60% damage resistance, whereas previously it was 84%. I don't really play with damage resistance. It was fun to make the video. It was fun to test it, fun to show people. But a lot of people ask now, is it worth double stacking armor on your weapons? So if you look at the chart here, if you're running a hero that has armor, like Rescue Trooper, then your two weapon perks equate to 10% damage resistance, which to me isn't worth it. But barely any hero has built-in armor, right? So technically you're gonna be sitting at 80 armor, and at 85 armor you're on 46%, and 45 you're at 31. So that's a beefy jump from 31 to 46. Obviously the 45 is not the same as a 40 weapon, but you'll be around 46%, and you'll be around 31 with one perk. You'll be around 46 with two perks. That's a significant change. So you're below a third, and then you're close to half damage resistance. So it's up to you. If you want to run tank with the weapon, I would suggest that double armor isn't necessarily a bad thing. But if you're doing anything else to add more armor, the 80 armor mark, 85 and 80 is that's, you don't want to go above that. You're in my opinion, you're wasting perks. So if you're gonna play a hero that has armor, do one armor perk. If you're playing a hero that doesn't, two is fine. But they also buff life leech, remember. I don't know about how much, I haven't looked at it, but so you have that option too. You could run at one armor and a life leech now. Cool. So the maximum that I'm able to get to is 77%. Whereas before I could get to 95%. Well, technically 124, but it capped at 95. So now you can only obtain 77 unless there's something I'm not seeing, but I believe that is the maximum you can get to right now, is 77% damage resistance, and that's only for those 6 seconds. Otherwise, you're at 60% with the support bonus, a double armor weapon, and a hero that offers armor. So, cool. Hopefully that clears some things up. I was curious. It's cool to see it. I'll probably forget it because I don't use armor. But, yeah. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye now.